Welcome to Studio M, your McKinney ISD talk show. I'm your host, Sydney Turnbow. Today's show promises to dazzle both your eyes and ears. Wolford Elementary is here to showcase some unique artwork created in an untraditional way. A young cellist from Cockrell joins us to share his original composition. And Fabia Middle School has their own version of a glee club, and we will meet 3 of the group members. It's all coming up next on Studio M. Back to elementary school and going to art class, you remember all the basic supplies you needed, like construction paper, crayons, glue, paint, maybe some scissors. Well, all those materials are still canvas art across rooms in our district. But at Wolford Elementary, their tools of creation include iPads with programs like DoInk and Sketchbook X. Brenda Fee is the art teacher at Wolford, and she joins us with 2 of her students, 2nd grader Lily Couvion and 4th grader Aiden Hughes, to tell us and show us more about their video art. So welcome to our show. I want you to first, before we get into the very personal questions, you tell me a little bit about yourself so I can get to know you.
Okay. Well, I'm Brenda Fee, and I'm the art teacher at Wolford Elementary, and I've been there for 13 years, and I love my job. I have the best job in the whole world, especially working with these guys.
Hi, I'm Aiden Hughes. I'm in 4th grade, and I go to Wolford Elementary, and she's my art teacher.
I'm Lily Couvion, and I'm in 2nd grade.
Anything cool about you that I should know along with our guests?
I like to draw and read.
So do you think that you liking to draw and read, that this program and what she's doing is helping you to explore and do that?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So can you tell me what this program is? How does it work, video art?
Video art's been around for a while, and basically what we've done is we've taken iPads and taken applications that are designed for artists to create and are using them in the elementary setting. It's not a simple process. It's a process that is progressive, and we've learned over the course of about 2 years how to do this. Most of our children from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade use the iPads for 4 weeks during the school year to develop video art.
Where did the idea for this program come?
It was kind of it was an interesting situation where the technology and the learning all came at the same time. Our school received a grant about 2 years ago from MEF to get some iPads, coupled with a generous donation from our PTA and our principal. We were able to outfit an entire cart of iPads, a class set. And at the same time, I was learning about iPad art through professional development at the National Art Educators Conference. And what happened was I met some really cool people. I met an animator from Disney who was working with kids, and I met a teacher who was really onto digital art galleries, and took what I learned there and the tools, worked with our school librarian to add some apps. And our first year, we just were really playing with the tools. And this year it evolved into the creation of videos by students in grades 2 through 5.
So how is this intense program and something that seems really complicated made to where it works for kids in the 2nd or 3rd grade or even kindergarten?
We teach in a progression model is what I teach in. And what happens is at first you learn how to use your basic iPad tool. And that's also taught in the classrooms by the classroom teachers. And then a lot of modeling. I think when we started, what we did was I would say, this is the project we're going to use, and here's how to use the tool. And we walked step by step through the process. Wasn't that pretty much it? Like, this is the brush you use, and this is the size, and things like that. And so we walked step by step through, and then the children learned to do on their own. And so now they can pretty much pick up an iPad and create something on your own, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. What has been the coolest thing that you've probably created all year?
Well, I think a few weeks ago, I created, like, you could pick a horse or a lion, and I picked a horse, and just to me, it looked like it was just a perfect horse, exactly what it looked like.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Your horse didn't just stand still, though.
Yeah, we animated it so it could move. Like, it would move from one space to another, to another, to another, and it would just go off the page, and then it would go to the next person's art, and the next person's, and then once the class is over, she'll maybe do the other class that's in art with us.
And when you're editing and making it animated and moving, do you have to hand draw the picture over and over again, or is there a way to take your original drawing and make it move?
You have to hand draw it over and over, so try being as perfect as possible.
And do you find that like tedious at times, or you just go, oh, this takes too long?
It is frustrating sometimes because you mess up, and then all I do is just erase it and try to do it again.
Okay.
One thing that's really interesting about the tool we're using, Do Ink, is that it has what's called an onion skin technology. So when either one of them draws their first drawing, digitally you lay an onion skin on top so you can see your first drawing and you know how to alter your second one and how to alter your third and how to alter the last one. So Lily's project, you used two animations. You used 4 for yours. And then they each had to design a background too, which was 7 layers of color and composition together. And then we knit them all together. 2 different applications go together to create a single piece.
That's okay. I understand now. I was like, you have to redraw it. I would, oh no. So Lily, what has been your favorite?
I liked when we did the clay fish, and I liked when we did the animated fish.
And what did yours look like?
Wait, which
Like,
one?
can you describe it to me, like the clay fish, like how it worked? And
Well, for the clay fish, we did kind of like a PowerPoint, and it showed what you did with each part of your clay, and then it said how to put them together. And then at another art lesson, after she put them in the kiln, once they were all put together, we painted them with glaze.
And you want to tell her a little bit about your, because sometimes we do something in one medium, like we did a clay fish, then we turn around and did the animated fish. So we've already gotten the basics of what a fish is like. So when you start drawing it, you know how. What did you do with your animated fish?
I did a fish, and then its tail was like that, and then on the second one, since it was like this, I made it like cross kind of, because it was animated, so it would be in 2 different movements. And then for the eye, we did like the eyeball was like at the bottom of the eye, and then for the next part, it was at the top.
So the eyes would move up and down, and the tail would wiggle. And then yours blew bubbles too, didn't it?
And now this is all fun and games, but how do you think this is going to help them, or how is it going to help you guys in the future for what you want to do?
I think it's going to help us because it's kind of like drawing on paper, but it's harder. Like, because you have to be very precise with your hand motions, and then on paper you have to do the same thing, but it's just harder to do on iPads because you keep having to erase and erase.
Do you think it's something that could, if you wanted to be like an animator for film, that it's something that can help kids that are really interested in that?
I think so. Yes.
One thing that we try and do in class is we try and teach some of the basic iPad skills. So for example, all the kids know how to get an iPad, get it set onto the network, because they have to get their internet access. They know how to find an application without scrolling back and forth, how to do searches. They know how to work with layers. They know how to, for example, in this project, in both of the projects, you made a work of art in Sketchbook X. You exported it to a photo file. You imported it to another tool, to Do Ink. You altered it there. You put them together and exported again, which are skills that you have to do all the time when you use iPads. The other thing that we use our iPads for very regularly, that's a life skill, is we scan QR codes and write about our art. So we do a lot of, we belong to Artsonia, the world's largest art gallery, and we have the capability to pick up an iPad, All the children's art is online. They scan, they look at their art, they say, what would I do better, what would I do different, and then they write about it. So we incorporate writing every day into our art projects, and we do it because of the iPads. And it's pretty much, what do you do at the end of your project?
We,
What do I say is the last thing you do at class? Go get a...
you get an iPad and you start scanning and you start writing about your artwork.
So now that you have all this technology and all these things to incorporate with art, are you feeling like this is helping with the core curriculum, like English, if you're writing every day and reflecting on everything you're doing?
Absolutely, absolutely. We put 10,000 artist statements on Artsonia this year. So that's 10,000 pieces of writing that we wouldn't have otherwise. The kindergartners write about their art. And in kindergarten, it's one sentence. And actually, I have moms or pals from Evans Middle School that help come and type for those kids. But it's helping them reflect. It's also helping me because what they write, when I go to grade their artwork, they say to me, I wish I'd done this differently. Or I think you should change the lesson this way, Mrs. P, which that's cool. I like that too.
Yeah.
And so it helps us fine tune what we're doing. It helps me see if they're getting concepts. Helps them with expression, I think. You guys write a lot of cool things.
And you've talked about, or I've heard about, competitions. So where does this come into play? I mean, I've never heard of 5th graders, 4th graders, and 3rd graders getting to go off and do something that big.
There are competitions for students. It's very hard to find elementary level video competitions, but we have started to find them. I follow the blog of a woman who wins almost all of them. She's an art teacher from Illinois, and so I'm just keeping a list of what she wins so we know what to enter next year. I don't know if that's fair, but we're going to do it. And we actually started on our first competition this year. Some of my older kids wanted to do a video to enter into a contest called iPad Palooza. So we're starting to be competitive, and this year we've really focused on developing our skills and the technology to do it.
Okay. And what happens if you win these competitions?
Prizes.
What type of prizes? Like candy, money?
I don't know. Like money for the school usually, right?
Well, there's iPads. The kids can win iPads. They can win money. They can win trips to places. This group, these two have not really competed yet. We have a video club at Wolford, which is our older kids. Lily's older sister's involved in that, and they're the ones who are looking more towards competitions because they work after school and during recess, and they put in a lot of extra time to try and develop a really high-level product without as much supervision. So they're the ones who are going to contest work.
Okay, so is there anything that you plan on doing when you're older that this will help? Like, I'm in broadcasting, and I can see how knowing how to do this artwork, learning how to work with an iPad and expression, how that could have helped me. So what are your plans for when you get older?
Well, I think I'm going to be a professional artist or a professional soccer player once I grow up.
Those are both good careers.
Well, I want to be a teacher, so maybe what Miss Fees taught us could help me teach my class.
That's interesting. And to kind of conclude, with this program, what other programs with the video editing or video drawing are you planning on adding next year?
The plan is every year to move us up a level. So the first year we did this, we were just very, very basic. We just learned how to use the tools. So now that we know how to use the tools well, we're going to go into more complex programs. One skill that my kids really want to learn how to do is called rotoscoping. And rotoscoping is a process of shooting a video and then drawing over every frame to create a drawn version. It's done in music videos sometimes, you see it. And so I have a group of kids who said next year they want to do a big rotoscoping project. We know it'll take about 500 frames to produce it. So we're going to start at the beginning of next year on our first rotoscoping project. And then we're also going to move into stop action animation and stop motion animation, I should say. And actually, that was the first project that I did on my own that convinced the school that we should be doing that. My son, who is now a freshman at OU, he and I took a bunch of Beanie Babies and the iPads, and we shot a stop motion animation about colors. And I went to the principal and said, all kids could do this. And
Yeah.
I want to teach it to kindergarten, so that's my goal for next year. Stop motion animation with kindergarten.
To think with technology what we can accomplish
That is
now.
true. It's true. It's so exciting.
And I mean, when I was in elementary, there was no iPads. There was nothing. Do you think this would be possible without iPads?
A lot of things that we do on the iPads, we used to do with pen and paper. In fact, our 5th graders this year worked on a project that I actually had taught in 4th grade the year before with an artist called James Rizzi. We drew all the stuff on paper. This year, we drew it on the iPads and animated ourselves flying through the landscapes. So
Wow.
you could do things, but you just can't do them the same level that you do with the iPad. It opens a whole new door, and it's really interesting. We talk a lot in our class, don't we?
Yes.
You can talk as long as you're working. You can talk, but when we are working on iPads, nobody talks
Wow.
because the level of engagement is so high, and the skills that you have to demonstrate it just takes a lot of thinking.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep doing it.
Yeah. What will be the things you're looking forward to making in the future?
I was thinking, like, during art class the other day, like, if you would make a Karate Kid, like jumping through a piece of wood or kicking, that would be really cool.
Like doing like the high kick he does
Yeah.
in the movie?
We could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very possible. What about you, Lily?
Just more iPad artwork.
There's nothing in particular that you really want to draw that you're looking forward to?
Not that I know of.
No. Well, you've got plenty of time. Summer is really close, so you're completely okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me on Studio M, and I'm glad to learn about your iPad art and everything. I'm jealous.
Thank you for having us here.
Yeah, thank you. We need to take a short break, and when we return, Hawkville Middle School 8th grader Ricardo Gonzalez joins us with his cello.